Welcome to a beautiful day at the river house. We got so much done yesterday, maybe because I forgot the cameras. But this morning, before I show you any of that, we got some trees to deal with. We had very little success with our Arbor Day Foundation mail order trees. Not saying it's their fault, just saying that I had like 2 of 9 that survived. So we got some replacements here. Got a wonderful Royal Rainier cherry. I think Danny wanted a Granny Smith. There's a Pink Lady, a Granny Smith, a fig, and an almond. Yeah, you can grow figs and almonds in Montana as long as you live where we live, I guess, and as long as it just keeps getting warmer. Oh shoot, man, we forgot water. Don't waste any drinking water on those. I got hose water for those, okay?
Oh, okay. Oops.
Oh, that was a mistake. We might be drinking hose water later, bud. Alright, the new trees are in. I did find out that one of them still had some live rhizomes and was actually trying to sprout. The problem was, I don't know if it was in front of or behind the grafting point. So I just moved it. I don't want it in the main field. You know, it stink to get whatever nasty little crab apples. You know, nurture it for 10 years and get whatever nasty crab apples the rootstock is. But we'll give it a shot. I know it's a mess. I'll clean it up here in a bit. But this is the first test of our pressurized water system, which is what I want to use this year. And I want to see if it blows itself apart. Okay, we got a huge leak up there. It's not unexpected.
There's a big leak letting a lot of the water out. I think you should fix that.
Okay.
And that's pointing the wrong direction. It's pointing that way. It's not watering the tree.
Did it already blow apart up here? Well, that didn't last long. Okay, we'll fix it. This is what I want to test. All right, attempt 2. Still got some massive leaks. Yeesh, that thing's pretty big. I can only assume it's spitting water down in there. I'll go check the bottom run. could put in one of those reducers, basically a rubber disc with a small hole poked into it, kind of like a soaker hose reducer. What do we got going on over here? We got water coming out of this one. We got a steady stream of water coming out of that one. That looks nice. I assume those runs are working, because this room's working. What? Okay, we're clearly too much water coming through. Nope. No. These are the farthest runs. The hosing leading down here is snaky. Look at that though. This is where I mounted that one tree. See what I mean? It's got this reasonably large branch, but that's the graft point right there. So that could be coming from either or. This one's definitely coming from past the graft. What do we got going on here? Okay, this one is plugged. It's also cracked. There's water coming out of that. Alright, so the concept behind the pressure system is going to work fine. So what we need to do is neck this down, try to get a reasonable flow. Blew the end out of that one. Try to get a reasonable flow, and then we can test and time how often the pump comes on. I need my pump to come on no more than about once every 3-4 minutes or so. That'll be about the flow rate it can handle through August. Oh. Guess I shouldn't have messed with that one. We'll get these staked. I'm going to get rid of these fiberglass stakes. See the sparkles on them? These are the most wicked things. You ever want to torture somebody, you make them take some of these and sword fight or poke something with them. They are just horrifying. Ooh, it's got a nice fire belt. Yeah. See, the pump just kicked on there. Alright, let's see if we can reduce the flow. So yesterday, Mom and Dad came out. I think they really wanted to see the blasting. And I had 7 holes prepared. Kind of changing up. We tried Jeff's suggestion of 2 holes at once, and I doubled the powder charge. Tripled it in one case, but it didn't seem to give us 3 times the boom, so we went back down to 2. But yeah, like I said, we had 7 holes prepared, and then we drilled 2 more because we were having fun. And we removed a tremendous amount of rock. Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing. So we're just working that face back. I'll have to go and work Dick's face back. But yeah, this sort of nuisance-like idea just to save me some money before I brought in the blasting crew. Nah, we'll get this. We'll get this. I mean, look how much rock I have I have removed, and we've only used $70 for the powder so far. $70 for the compound. But yeah. And everything you saw in that last blasting video, you can just go ahead and forget that, man. Once we got the whole arrangement worked out, it removed so much faster. There's my double blasting trigger. It moved so very much faster. So that's why I've been putting the bigger of the rocks, the wall rocks, and then that's the smaller of the stuff that I'll have to do something with at some point. Pallet them up and sell it maybe someday, or I need more driveway fill. We also tested out the rock sled. That's the movement right there. I feel bad because I forgot the camera, right? So none of this is on video, but I wish I'd had the camera to move the rock sled. We probably had 12,000 pounds on it. I don't know how many round trips she would make, but it allowed us to go down the hill with 3 massive wall rocks, 3 on the drag and 1 in the bucket. But it was not without its damages and not without its difficulties, because yeah, I really struggled to make the corner. I need a longer cable. I need a longer cable in order to drag it. We were leaving pieces of it in our wake, but I don't care. You want to see what we did? As far as first courses go, it's not too crazy, but they're in there. And you have to remember, I'm doing mortar, and again, I'm using type M mortar, the hardest of all the mortars, and I am making the wall more than 2 feet thick, and I'm going to pin it all together completely along the way with rebar, and then anchors set back down into the hillside. And the reason I'm doing all of this is because I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to compensate for that ignorance with massive overkill. But it also gives me a fair bit of flexibility, because I didn't have to find a perfect jigsaw pattern, because this, as sketched out in my mind, is a mixture of big and small, and since it's type M, the mortar is as hard as the rock, so this will be filled in and brought up level. I'll probably actually brick all the way across, and then we'll span it with the next course of big ones, and I'll have this hopefully mosaic kind of pattern. That's what I'm looking for. We tried very hard to get them pins sideways to fly the rocks in, but we had some problems. You know, I had my pin lifter here, you know, and I don't even though I did all that research into how they do it, I don't think Dad had any confidence in it, and so only wanted to drill the holes in there maybe 2 inches. They needed to be 6 inches deep, 8 inches deep at least. So they just bent over and pulled out, and we dropped a rock and whipped around, and yeah, I think you know, when I have a chance and I'm just here by myself, I'll probably go back, and they're pretty mangled now, but I can probably beat them flat again, and then I'll give them a good honest try. I ended up cutting them off because of how bent up they were the first time, but You know, it's just difference of opinion, and we were able to lift up and easily position, because I just drilled the pins in the top and lift up and easily position these rocks, and that was all going well, but you know, they just bent over and popped back out. So, but yeah, the goal here for Shay and I is to start making up some rebar staples, and the stuff I've got is only 1/2 inch, but it's going to be fine, because I'm gonna do 2, boom, boom, 2, boom, boom. We'll find out a way to go in and go down, and go in and go down, and then staple and staple, and that will tremendously hold these rocks together, even if it isn't 100% necessary for what we're doing. Despite the massive size of this cliff, remember, we got pictures going back into the early 1990s, and nothing has ever slumped or done anything. And the neighbor said it's been like this going into the 70s. So it is not collapse prone at all, but I want a massive wall of earth, and then this whole wall is set slightly below grade, you know, so it's going to be backfilled up. It's going to be backfilled up against the bottom. So the earth anchors, pinning them all together, pinning them to the bedrock so that this whole corner can't move. The fact that it is going to be type M mortared, solid through here with mesh and pins, and through here mesh. It's going to turn this entire thing into a solid rock monstrosity. Yeah. If we could afford a solid gold wall like that, we probably wouldn't live here. Why? Lots of reasons. Okay, so they're all tied in. Got a nice low ground tie, 2 top ties, 2 top ties, and 2 lower ground ties. And this is the only rock that's only got a single tie in it. And there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I was being really nice to this drill bit, and I still ripped the end of it off. So I don't know if it needs a second one there or not. It's going to have a whole bunch of concrete. And then we have driven ring shank nails in, so everything is pinned, hard, nice and permanent. Again, it's going to be solely encased in concrete. It's going to take a lot to move this. These are fiberglass electric fence stakes. They were the most horrible things ever. I picked them up, scraps somewhere, a whole bunch of them, thinking they'd make really convenient like plant stakes and stuff. But you can't even touch them with gloves without filling your hand full of fiberglass. So I am just going to. I got dozens of the things. I'm just going to add them as reinforcing. I'm just going to get rid of it. Just going to leave it buried back behind something. I'll use it to reinforce the mortar. So I've driven these 2 down in there, and then it'll form a nice firm rod to tie all that together. And they're hard. They are really tough. Really, really tough. So. But I think we're done for the day. It's going to rain soon. I got the Spartan tomorrow, so get everything picked up, ready for the rain, and go home and sit for a bit.
Dad,
Yeah, Shane.
pick them up at the dump.
That's what I said. I said I got them for scrap. It's been an exhausting weekend. It's not over yet, but from all of us to all of you, thanks for watching.